Now.
Okay. Good morning. How is everyone? I hope today you're going to feel the love that is given to us by the natural world. And we'll continue giving thanks of our original Thanksgiving address. And so now we reach the sky world because we talked about all those things that were on the above the earth, now on the earth, and now we're going to talk about what's in the sky world. And so one of the things we look at now, every what we see every day is our eldest brother. Now, isn't that nice to have someone always looking after you and that you're never alone? That's the most important thing, is that you're never alone. And so when we see the sun rising, and in our teaching, they say, we're to greet him every morning and give thanks to him because he's given us the greatest gift, and that is hope. Because every morning you're going to see him. And it may be cloudy some days, but you're going to see him. And he lets you know that, there's a continuation of life, and that's the beauty of it, that whatever's you're going through, it may be cloudy, but the sun is always going to be there. Sometimes we forget about our loved ones and we think no one is there, but this is why we look at that metaphor of the sun always being there. And so he watches over us all day. That's really nice, knowing somebody is taking care of us all day. And so now he returns, and he knows that he must continue his journey to the other side of the world. And so he has to look after them too. And so that shows the male's responsibility of creating a safe and an healthy environment. And now he turns it over to his sister that we now know as Grandmother Moon. Now, Grandmother Moon, she has her helper, and those helpers are the star world. And so those stars is a representation of where we come from. And so the stars, we are a 5 point star. We have our head, our two arms, and our two legs. And so that represents a star shape, you know. And so this is why we acknowledge that journey that we came from the sky world. This is why whenever we're looking for hope, we look up into the sky world and we think about all those ones that have journeyed on, because we see all our relatives, as they say, the stars, because they are the ancient ones, they are the wise ones. And so when we look up into the sky world, we see our grandmother, and she watches over us. She knows each and every one of us. She knows when we were born. She knows when we return back to her too. And so she guides us every day. And so sometimes we're feeling a little challenged, and this is why she uses her power. She uses that power of love, and it's like she draws that water from us, our water that's inside. And so when we're feeling very emotional some days, it's because she wants us to clear ourselves, to get rid of that, as they say, sadness, that grief, that anger, all those things. And this is why when the moon changes, it's almost like there's a flow of water going in. And so we have we have her working so hard to help us to be well, self-care. And so 3 days before the changing of the moon, every moon there's a first quarter, full moon, last quarter, new moon. So every time that moon changes, we're going to feel this. And this is why she is in the sky world, because she tells us all about what is going to happen, just like a grandma, just like I'm sharing with you the stories of life. And that's what she does. And so when you listen more to the elements of the universe, then you know that you're on the right path. And so this is why in our way we understood that you would go through challenging times, because it was to brush you up on how to be, how to improve yourself all the time. You've learned that lesson, and so you know to need to go on, and how to prevent that from happening again. But some of us, we like to blame others, and so this is not the way it is to be. Grandmother just wants you to be well, not to carry anger, not to make yourself sick. And so the stars are there to remind us, but they also tell her messages too, because in the stars, you can even see our creation story. The indigenous people had lots of knowledge of the stars. They told us many things of our creation story. And so it reminds us. So when I see the twins, well, we had twins in our creation story, and they were called referred to like the left and the right, or the good twin, the evil twin. But I like to see them in a different way. I see it as a patient twin and an impatient twin. So they're reminding us daily on how to conduct ourselves. Are we impatient with others, or are we patient with others? You know, we need to work on patientness, and that's what Grandmother Moon always likes to kind of help us with. And so we have that. And now we look and we see that they're fulfilling their duties. Oh, we have another helper, a beautiful helper. And right now, I think we need to call upon him is the thunder beings, our grandfathers. The thunder beings, they have a very important role, and it has come to, they have, their duty is to come and to take care of us. And so that means they renew the earth, the land, the air, and the water. And so right now, we need the renewal of that. So don't grumble when it's going to rain, please, because it's cleaning the water where man has contaminated. They're cleaning the air where man has contaminated. They're cleaning the land, the air, and the water so that we have that gift to breathe in wellness and well-being, and so let it be in our lives to be forever grateful. We look and we see that the thunder beings, they're taking care of us, and right now we need them for our food. And yes, we need it for our trees, we need it for everything. And so the thunder beings, they bring a very special gift. Yes, sometimes people are scared of thunder, but they're 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 connected in a way that they don't understand the power of life. And so they've been taught fear. But to me, I am a child of the thunder beings because I just love it when it's thundering. I just love it when it's raining because it's like I'm dancing because that's what I see the waters when they drop. They're just dancing and they're celebrating the life that we were given. Now we look and we see the thunder beings, they have a helper. And these helpers are the lightning, the bolts of lightning. And there are so many stories of it. And that's why I like to share as much as I can about everything that I have come to learn. And I'm sharing it through a grandmother because that's who taught me, my grandma. Because one time we were out there a long time ago when I was little, me and my brother, and we were going down to the river. We were walking through the pasture. And I was walking backwards because I was talking to my brother, and I'm walking backwards, and all of a sudden I see my brother go, and I stopped right in my track because then I turned around because he was going like this. And I turned around and there was a huge water snake, a big one, a big one. And we just took off and ran back up to the house. And we went running, Grandma, 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 there's a real big snake. Grandma, it was real, really, you know how we are when we're kids, it's really, really big. Well, to me, it was really big. And Grandma goes, don't worry, kids. Don't worry, my kid, my loved ones. She says, the thunder beings seen him out there. And, they're going to come and they're going to put him back underground so that he has he has to go back. And so, and I looking at my grandma, yeah, you know, it, is this true? And I forgot all about it. And she said, just go and play. You'll be okay. Everything will be all right. And so we went back outside and we played. And little did we realize that the wind, the leaves start talking, and they were telling the coming of the rain. They were telling the coming of the storm, and they were all excited. And my grandma said, "Watch it. There are going to be thunder beings that are going to come." Sure enough, the leaves were talking about it, and then looked up and seen the sky getting cloudy. And grandma says, "You'll have to come in the house pretty soon because you're going to see the thunder beings sending down bolts of lightning." And sure enough, they came. And that's what they say. They put back those ones that come above the ground that may put fear in other people. And so here it was, a true story. And this really happened. And the thunder beings came to take care of us, the kids, the little ones. And so I always look at that as a time of being shown that no matter where I am, I'm going to be taken care of. And that's why I think a lot of our old people a long time ago had that place of knowing that we would be taken care of. But with the coming of the new world visitors, it was just like they didn't understand a lot of things. And so we were we were outside all the time. We played in nature. We could stay outside all day, and my mom would never have to worry about us. And so this is why even with my children, I kind of knew that, and they would be outside, and I knew that nature was going to take care of them. And so I'm going on to the next one. And those are the four lightened beings. I mean, the four guardians, the four beings. And to you, you may know them as the four angels. There's always four, and they bring you here to the earth, and they'll come when it's time for you to return back to the sky world. Now, you remember me saying, the old people, when it's time to go, they'll all say, I'm ready to go home. And what they mean is they want to go back to the sky world, heaven. And I heard my dad say that. I heard my mom say that. I heard my auntie say that. I heard so many people say, I'm ready to go home. And that's what they mean, because we know that we come from that sacred place, the sky world. And so they come and they know us. And that's what a lot of people fear. That's when some people die that are not near the family, that they're all alone, that they died alone. No, even those children that were in that time, we hear of the children that were taken and they lost their lives. You know, I'm so blessed to hear that story, because when I felt sad at first, but then I knew that these ones that have journeyed on, no matter where they were, no matter, these children or the people, no matter if they were in war or whatever, they never have gone back to the spirit world without being alone. And that's the most powerful memory, is knowing that, your loved ones they're never alone. And even I know that for my own personal experience, because you see, my daughter journeyed on 5 o'clock in the morning, and I know that she was not alone. She was not afraid. Even when it came time for you see, I helped my parents journeyed on to the next world. And so even my mom, I, um, she said, "Oh my gosh," she said, "when I close my eyes, there's like hands reaching out for me." I says, "Mom, they're not hands to pull you down in darkness. They're hands to help you through that darkness. That's what they are for, so that you're not alone." And so she felt her mind lifted. And you know what? She was able to go, because she fought that for a long time, because she had fear. But then she remembered when I told her those things. So you see, that's why we have those, is to remind us on how to have a good mind, knowing that we're taken care of all through our journey in life. And now we have the four enlightened beings. I mean, our mentor enlightened beings. Someone that has, in our way, we had uh, um, Scanadilio, and he means it means handsome lake, and he was a leader. And this is what I really like about this, because it was a human being that had fallen from grace. Because we need to see that. We need to see people that have made mistakes, that they can brush themselves off and rise up and remember who they are. And so when I hear that story of Handsome Lake, I remember that, we were given this opportunity, this story to hear, because it shows that no matter how what happened in your life, you can make change, and that's what he did. He made change. But there's also, they call the enlightened ones, and these are ones that come as mentors. Now, I want you to think of someone that has come to your life, and that's kind of said, have put up their hand and said, "Come on, you don't have to stay there, in that place of sadness and grief. Come on, there's hope." And that's what each one of us, that's a very special gift that we have. We're to give hope. And so we always, because they taught us, those mentors, they taught us how to help another person to get out of that place of being overwhelmed. And so we give thanks to those ones that have done their duties. And so we go, now we look and we see that all these things have been put in place. No matter your grandmas, your great grandparents, there was always somebody. That's what the Creator made. Isn't that nice? Someone, He sent someone just to help someone in that time of need. Now, sometimes when you feel that no one cares, someone will pop up. It may be an animal. It may be a butterfly. It may be, those are mentors to help us to go on, to tell us not to give up. And that was a very special gift. So even we look at those symbols, those signs, like even I would. when my cousin, it was her time to leave, and I would go sit with her. We had a shift that everyone would sit with her. And I said, well, I'm going home now because she was sleeping. And I said, I'm going to go home now, but I'll see you tomorrow. And as soon as I got home, you know what? They called me to go back because she had left. I said, oh, that sneaky one. She had to go when I was not there, but I know she was okay. And so the next day I went to my cousin's house because we had to get ready. And on a step, when I entered my cousin's house, I saw a dime. You know, we feel sad at those times when they have gone on. And but I looked at and I picked that dime up and I said, "Is this all I get?" Because she had good humor, and so it brought a smile, brought good memories back, and so I laughed. I was, and my spirit was lifted. So there are times when we're going through our saddest time that our mentors, like it can be those things that we take for granted so many times. It can be a hummingbird, it can be a grasshopper, it can be somebody that can that or a bird singing. But these are mentors to bring us back to that place of wellness and well-being. And so now we look and we saw all these things that the Creator has given us because, you know, He had gone through sadness and time of being without um, support, human support, or I guess you would call it. And so He said, if I really strongly believe it because this is the way I felt too when you were in that place. If there was anyone feeling like the way I do, this is what I would do for them. And He created all these beautiful things to help me. And I'm so grateful that He did because you see, when my daughter journeyed on, the bird was there to sing me a song, the trees were there to take, and all nature was there to look after me, the stars, the moon, everything was there to take care of me and know that when I look up in the sky, well, I know and plus my daughter had gone and journeyed out back home in the sacred time of our ceremonies, and so I know that she went straight to the Creator's land. Isn't that nice? That is so beautiful. And so in those times, those 10 days, and then the year after, when we do our feasts and do our ceremonies, it it is it is so, and our speeches are so comforting that, you know, my grieving was taken care of. And so I give thanks to all of those things that, you know, we call life supporters. They're there. They're not in human form, but they're in the form that was to, they know their roles and their responsibilities. Aren't we lucky they're still growing? The weeds that pop up, the grass that pops up, you know, the trees and the animals. Oh my gosh, we would be in a sad place if it weren't for all those things. And this is why we give thanks. And so we look at all the things. Boy, the Creator, he had such, how do you call it? He knew what needed to be done to take care of all those children to come, all of us that was going to go through challenges. And that's why he made all these things. And that's why we say, Gunya, the Thanksgiving address, we give thanks to all those that have been here since the time of creation, and we ask that they continue. And this is why we're always giving thanks. And so in that time, we think of all our finest words, our love, we wrap it up and we send it back to the one that has created all. And we thank Him so much from our heart that He has given us these things, these tools, and they're still here. That's an amazing thing. They're still here, but they're really working hard to be here because man is destroying them. So just at this time, just be so grateful that they are still here. You know, if everything, you know, we need them, they don't need us. They can survive, as they say. That's what some people have said, but it is a time of re renewing our relationships. And so at this time, we look and we see that the Creator has done a very important mission for us. He has given us the greatest gift to let us know that we are loved and that no matter who we are, no matter what age we are, no matter what we're going through, He is always there. He or she that is always providing this nurturing that we all need. And this is what we were told that was evil, that was not good. And they told us we had many gods. But in reality, what we were doing was just saying thank you to all these life givers, all these ones that were giving us support. And they weren't idols, they weren't gods, they were life supporters. And that's how we looked at them. And that's why it made our life a little more, as they say, manageable. Because if those things could go the same condition that we go through, then we should, these were our heroes, especially our food. You put them in the ground, and what they need is you to talk to them and to thank them and sing a song to them, just like I need you, you need me. We need to see each other and hear each other. And this is why the Creator, He gave us this gift of relationship. And so this is why I am I'm sharing this with you. I would like you to, anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, that you feel that no one cares for you, or that you don't belong any place, don't go there. Because you see, you are a gift. You are a gift of love from creation. But along the way, some people have forgotten that they were a gift of love, because the Creator gave you that life. He took in you the gift, He put in you, I should say, He put in you the gift to laugh. You know, our higher power or Creator, God, whatever He didn't sit on a throne. He sat right beside us in a chair. He sat on the ground with us. He sat with us. And you know what? The most beautiful thing is He give us a good belly laugh. Anytime we're in that struggle, we have that time where we something silly pops up and we laugh. Oh, I come to know Him as a very, very good friend, a real good friend. I don't look at Him as someone that's going to judge me, because He knows He has given me everything to help me along the way. And if I do make a mistake, He's not going to punish me forever, because that's loving and caring and kind. And so it is us that put ourselves in that place of, as they call, hell, because we have not taken care of ourselves. And so as a result, we cause a lot of worries and negative things. And so we are living hell, because we choose to carry on anger and hate and all those things. That, again, is a metaphor that you're living in hell, because you're living in a place that you are slowly destroying yourself, where the Creator has given us everything to rise above it and to be strong. I've had many challenges in my life. And if it weren't for the trees, and if it weren't for the animals, if it weren't for the rain and the snow and all the changing of the season, I wouldn't have been able to bounce back so quickly. I think I would have been stuck. If I didn't have that knowledge, I would have been stuck, just like so many people today. And so I think how much the Creator, how much love, unconditional love, that He or she had created. To us, we don't see it as a male or female. It's an energy so powerful. It's like to me, this is my interpretation of the one that has created all. Is it's a beam of light, of human intelligence, that has all those positive emotions, and to help us to get the great mind to think of all these things. And so this is how I've come to know Him. I also have, when you're growing up, I was so grateful my grandmother had taught me, and my dad and my mom, they taught me about um, spirituality. And yes, I did go to church. Yes, I did go to Longhouse. So I had two places. But when I got older, I choose to be where I choose to be with the one that unconditional love, and knowing that I'm accepted for who I am and that I'm never alone. And so I can sing, I can dance, I can smile, and I can be silly sometimes, and I can be whatever, as they say, those emotions, and know that I won't be judged, I won't be ridiculed, but I will be loved. And I could just, sometimes when I do make mistakes, I go, I'm always saying, should I? I know you do too. You probably say, should I or shouldn't I? And I know when I do those, I go, oh, it's like a aha moment. And I said, oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for being there and loving me. And so this is why we shared the Thanksgiving address. And I hope what I shared with you these past 4 weeks brings a better understanding of hope, of clarity, but most of all is of peace, power, and righteousness. You know, that real special feeling of being sacred. That's who you are. And so we give thanks. And if there is anything or anyone that I have forgotten at this time, please put it in your mind and also give thanks to them. Because I really tried to include everything. I didn't want to miss anyone out because there are so many families. There are so many that, I mean, the universal families. Universal, that means all creation. That means the trees, the animals, the shrubs, the medicines, they're families and they're here to help us. And so I hope that you would take this and you can go on YouTube and you can find the Thanksgiving address too. Some are short, some are long. But what I have shared with you is coming from Grandma Duda. I'm sharing this what I want you to feel that love. I want you to hear that love. I want you to experience that love whenever you're in nature and so that wherever you are loved. And so you take care and I hope we can do more adventures together like this because this can help us in our time of need. So, in that, I will close with Guadalupe. This feeling that I have of so much love for anyone and everyone. I, I take this feeling and I wrap it around you so that you know. And this is what the universe has given to me. This is what the Creator has given me. So I give it back to you so that you can give it to others so that there can be peace for all mankind and all creation. And I say, oho, nyawa, miigwech, and take care because I'm going, and I'll see you soon. So stay tuned to her grandmother's voices, and hopefully it will be very soon that we see each other again.